Hello and welcome once again to Let's Play Baldur's Gate, and this is Policy of Madness. Last time I came to Candlekeep, we were in the basement. We ended up in the basement because we were accused of murder. Correctly, we actually did commit the murder. And so I don't know who this guy is. He lives on the top floor of the keep, but I guess maybe he's the second in command. Tethtoril? Tethtoril. I always pronounce this wrong. I always call it Tethtoril, but okay. He teleported us down here, and we're about to enter the Catacombs.
Nothing to it. Whatever you want.
There are some traps in here, but nothing in this area.
Hello there. You wouldn't hurt
Your
me.
time is done, primates!
So last time, well, here's the exit. We actually don't have to go to any through any of these trap-filled areas. But of course we're gonna. There's gold in them Nar Hills, and more specifically, there are a couple of stat tomes. So last time I was talking about emancipation, and I kind of defined it. This time I'm going to explain it a little bit further by comparing an instance where I was mansplained to a very similar conversation in which that did not occur. If you recall, I really enjoy gardening. There are a lot of things that I grow in the ground and in containers. I'm not exactly the master gardener. I'm not, part of the ag extension or anything. But I'm not a beginner either. I grow fruit trees in containers. I grow raspberries in containers. And, these are skills that not everyone possesses. And I also grow things in the ground that, these guys have a web trap, as I recall.
I'm waiting.
There are a bunch of traps down here. We're going to take care of a couple of them right now.
If you say so.
There are some magic missile traps and some fireball traps and some lightning traps and yeah. We're not going to worry about any of these things. At my desk at work, I have a bunch of plants growing. Because, of course. Another of those. Alright. Our lure is 26. Now it's 29. Okay. Oops. Damn. Getting tired of that crap. Just gonna run through all my stone skins. dead end? Yeah. I have a bunch of plants at my desk. Yeah. The creeper, back when we were still on speaking terms, you know, before I knew that he was a creeper. Oh, whatever. He came over to my desk. He had just recently been hired. I was actually assigned to train him. And he came over to my desk and he sees all these plants and he starts telling me all about his own gardening adventures. I'm sure there's a web trap here. Don't remember much about this area, but I do remember that web trap. Not wander around too much. I do need to explore this, but traps are bad. Okay. Get away from the noise of this trap. Like I said, I'm no expert, but I'm also not a beginner. And he starts talking to me about his own plants, you know, that he grows. Has not asked me anything, okay? Just keep that in mind. He's not asked me anything yet. He just started talking about his own plants. And he was talking about some kind of plant, I don't even remember what it was, that he grew at his house, and apparently it did great, and really thrived. There's ghouls down here, I think, but we have free action, so we don't care. Hey, ghoulies?
Vita!
He tells me about this plant that he was growing. Here's our strength tome. Right now our strength is 18. We have a 2 hit bonus of 1 and a damage bonus of 2. Now our strength is 19. To hit bonus is 3 and damage bonus is 7. That's pretty awesome. Apparently he grew this plant for like 3 years and it really thrived. It was huge and beautiful and he loved it. And he felt like an expert or something. Not actually sure what he was trying to convey with this. But then he decided to give it a whole bunch of fertilizer.
Incurtus.
Really hate getting stuck. He gave it a whole ton of fertilizer, and it died.
Vita!
chanter, is this a pearl necklace? No. The chanter told us, oh, these are nice. There's 2 bullets, okay. Told us that down here, I think, Alando is buried. We don't know which one of these tombs he's in. I think we're supposed to believe that he's in this gigantic one. But I actually like to think he's in this pile of corpses. He presented this story to me kind of like, you know, those crazy plants, who can possibly grow them? You give them what they want and they just up and die on you. And, what are we supposed to believe of these bodies? Are these the people that we knew before? Are these our friends? Is this a horse? What are these things? There's one here and one here. They're like little miniature horses. Okay. You know, those crazy plants, what can you do? You know, you give them exactly what they want and they die anyway. Well, it's basic, you know, 100 level gardening that you don't over-fertilize. And I told him, if you just took a whole pile of fertilizer and dumped it on there, that's why they died. That's the reason they died. And then he was looking at my potted plants that are in extremely small pots.
Of course.
What do you need?
At my desk. I mean, they're in extremely small pots at my desk. We're talking like 3.5-inch pots and 4-inch pots.
I need a swig of some strong dwarven ale.
So this guy and the other dude here are 2 of the people who were in that group of adventurers that we took control of in Obi's place. And now they're here allegedly to help us. We can accept their help, but they're kind of pains in the ass. So we're just going to send them on their way. It's actually kind of irritating to have them with us, because they kill steal and they get in our way. We have many, many party unfriendly spells.
By Moradin's hammer!
Okay. Whatever. These pots are extremely small, and he was talking about, how I should get some of those fertilizer spikes and put one in each pot. I told him, I said, that would kill these plants. You never put fertilizer spikes in a container, a plant in a container. I mean, I grow fruit trees in containers, and I wouldn't even put that into a fruit tree. I mean, these containers that the fruit trees are in are enormous. And I wouldn't put a fertilizer spike in those. That's just, that shows zero knowledge of how plants operate.
I should have joined the army. Your time is...
So why exactly was he presenting this, you know, himself to me as some kind of expert? The plants around my desk are beautiful. And they're old. I mean, they're like 10 years old. I've had these same plants. My mom has a philodendron that's like older than me. And she treats it like crap. It's because philodendrons are almost indestructible. That's one of the reasons they make great office plants. The secret to office plants, incidentally, is not being a master gardener, because you don't actually have to be one.
Hey,
I don't think we talked to this guy. During the Candlekeep, I don't know, tutorial? It's not really a tutorial. This game has a real tutorial that we didn't go through. But that chapter 0, he was one of the people we could talk to, and he would try to teach us combat, and it was kind of lame and stupid, so we didn't do it. It didn't bring you any EXP. Now we're gonna kill his doppelganger. The real secret to growing plants in the office is to understand what an office is like. What is that? Spell magic. An office is going to be very dark compared with sunlight. Offices are extremely dry, and the temperatures tend to fluctuate. Depending on the office, they might turn the heat down at night or off, which can cause
something on your mind?
Real temperature swings in the winter.
Your time is...
And maybe in the summer they turn the air conditioning down at night, you know, which will also cause temperature swings. Oh wow, he survived that?
Oh, you wily bastard.
And in addition, there are some skeletons.
Alia Vero.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see if we can get them without entering this area. Because there are traps along here. Not every area has every space here has a trap. It's kind of hard to tell which ones do and which ones don't, actually.
Vita.
Alright. Oh.
Tell me all about it, if that's what you want.
Shit. Fucking wandering around. Okay. Where'd he go?
Whatever you desire.
Okay, so if you want to grow a plant in the office, you have to get one that is going to be okay with these kinds of conditions. There he is. And as I recall, there's a very high probability of being interrupted by doppelgangers here. So we're going to back ourselves into a corner, into a defensible spot.
I'm waiting.
Magical energy, okay. Yeah.
Your time is...
You also have to understand how you're going to be watering this plant. If you're like any normal person, you're going to be taking a plant or a glass full of tap water, and you're going to be pouring some of it into the plant, and then that'll be the end of it. Well, when you do that, the minerals in the tap water eventually build up in the container, and you can counter this, and you should counter this by changing the soil periodically. But you need a plant that's going to be able to handle that. A plant that can put up with having minerals in the soil for a period of time.
Manus potentes ha!
any of these things cast any magic. This encounter up here can be kind of dangerous. Okay.
Oh there, wanderer. Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
So we've been attacked by doppelgangers, and Elminster, who is not Elminster, is trying to convince us that we have not been killing doppelgangers.
Awake, my adopted child. Awake and face the terrible tests ahead of thee.
This sounds like a story that somebody would write into a bad fanfic. The end of Forever Night, I'm not going to have it on too much spoiler here, but the end of the last episode of the last season of Forever Night has a terrible ending, and a lot of fanfic written about Forever Night tries to rewrite the ending of that episode to make it not what we saw happen. And that's kind of what Grind's pulling on us now. You know, you thought I died, but really it was a magical poison.
Greetings, young one.
Everything will be explained to you in time.
So now they're telling us that instead of doppelgangers attacking us looking like Dreppen, you're saying that Dreppen, I guess, said something friendly to us and we just thought he was a doppelganger and we just murdered him. This is actually kind of an interesting mindfuck that they're pulling here. I actually like it. Actually, I'm rejecting the madness, so screw you. Here we go.
Your time is done, primate!
Oops. Here comes the greater doppelganger, who's actually kind of dangerous.
Time to fillet some meat. Time to fillet some meat.
Okay. This would be a pretty terrible encounter if we weren't hasted. Because he hastes himself and he's already pretty fast. And now he's running like the fucking coward he is.
Oh,
Alright. So know what happened. And this is the creeper, remember. Sees that I have some plants and starts talking about himself as a plant expert, even though it quickly becomes clear that he's anything but and he has nothing to teach me. And compare that with a similar conversation that I had with another new person who was actually one of the ladies that he, yeah, I knew it.
My hotel's as clean as an elven arse.
I'm an elf. I don't know how he's going to change my mind. I'm an elf. This was actually one of the ladies that that the creeper creeped on. she came over to my desk. She saw my plants and she said, "Oh, you grow plants?" I said, "Yeah, I grow them at home." Creeper didn't ask me any questions, okay? It's important to know. He asked me no questions at all. As I recall, this is a fairly dangerous encounter. So we're gonna go cautiously.
Yes.
The creeper just saw my plants and started talking about himself, you know, as a gardener. And, you know, I'm no expert. I'm willing to learn from people. But he had nothing to teach me, okay? So
Tell
why
me
was
all
he
about
presenting
it.
himself as an expert? I don't really understand.
Something strange.
I don't think he'd believe that, but let's try it anyway and see what he says. Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Oh, wow, that was nice. Magic resistance. Oh shit, I wonder what that was. Something horrible. I'm glad I resisted it. Alright. Let's learn about his evil plan. I apologize for leaving you here alone, but it's necessary to return to the city. So why did he say he was expecting Sarabok? He already had a letter that said Sarabok wasn't coming. He'd already gone back to the city. Okay, whatever. I say sure. You know, I like plants. I like growing them. They're fun. And she says, "You grow tomatoes?" I actually don't grow tomatoes. And I told her that. Because, for one thing, the ground in our area is terrible. Oh, I bet this is the magic that I, resisted. Good. 7 rounds is a long time. Probably would have been dead. Okay. That was close, I guess. Looks like we're gonna have to use our familiar bag of holding. Let's actually drop everything first. Because I don't remember when I last immunized all my crap. I may have something new since then. Is this everything? Yes. Our ground sucks. And Target has no items, okay. Oh, he took my, oops. Took my amulet, okay.
Just ask.
Alright.
I'm waiting. What would you
This axe is probably one of the better weapons in the game, but it comes so late. nobody is going to specialize in axes. This is like the best decent or the first really decent axe that you find, and we're in chapter 6. So nobody with any sense is going to specialize in axes, and then you get this amazing one in chapter 6. Okay. The ground in our house is terrible, and I just don't like most tomatoes, so I don't grow them. And so I tell her, no, I don't grow tomatoes. So she starts telling me about her tomato growing, and she also, you know, is asking me, so what do you grow if you don't grow tomatoes? What do you grow? And I start telling her about my raspberries, my fruit, and I also grow herbs. Okay.
Yes. Nothing to it.
And we had a conversation. I mean, we had a conversation about, you know, the things that interest us with respect to gardening. And that's the difference between that conversation and the mansplaining that the creeper did. Okay? Because this was a conversation that we were having.
Tell me all about it.
What the creeper was doing
Whatever you want.
was not a conversation. And that's what the difference is. And I seem to recall there being a bunch of spiders in here. I'm probably not impressed by the spiders, actually. And I'm not going to waste another potion of freedom on them. We're just going to do like this. Spiders and their web traps. A bunch of phase spiders and sword spiders. Yep. I know there's more than these. Let the phase spider go. Where did that phase spider go? Okay. I was hoping to collect multiple spiders here. Get them all at the same time. Oh, there we go. Alright. Okay. I'm just too pokey. The reason mansplaining is so offensive and so irritating. Oh. Maybe I'm about to find out what a great spider does. It probably has some kind of uber poison. Oh shit. Don't want to go too close there. There's a basilisk down here. Oh. Shit. I can't rest until those things are gone, can I? Okay. The reason it's so offensive and so irritating is because it demonstrates that the person who's doing it doesn't really have any interest in you as a person. And, you know, the lady that I was speaking to, she and I were having a conversation. The creeper, when he was mansplaining, he was not having a conversation with me. He was just lecturing me about something that he assumed, I guess, that he knew more about than I did. The lady knew that she knew more about tomato growing than I did because she asked me a question about it, and I answered it. Don't really want to sleep here. Get trapped. You know, she knew that I knew less about tomato growing than she did because she asked me a question. That worked pretty well. Am I going to end up farming these things? Well, shit. I am going to farm them. That wasn't really my intention. I get hit with another one. Shit. Okay, I have 2 more acid arrows left. Alright. Let's protect ourselves from the basilisk. Alright. I have a couple of theories as to why people mansplain, and I think it should be obvious by now that it's not just men who are capable of this. Got to put on my protection. Got to put on my protection from magical enemies. Should do that now. It should be clear that, you know, men are not the only ones capable of doing this. Women can do it too, and people who are non-binary are perfectly capable of it also. But men do it, at least in my experience, more than women do. And I have a couple of ideas as to why that is. I think it has to do with a hierarchy. Now this basilisk, they do kind of try to alert you that it's here by putting it in this little maze. so that you don't walk in on it unexpectedly. And then they put some statues here, so it's really hard to get a line of sight on it without seeing the statues first and saying, oh shit, a basilisk. Let's start out with one of these because we can. Shit, I don't know, didn't know there were gonna be two of them. Took off my mirror image, that's okay. As far as I didn't know there were two of them in here. Those are, those are the only basilisks that are not optional. You have to face those. But every other basilisk I think you can avoid. This is this entire area, right? Unlike this guy who will give us information just asking without even really verifying who we are. They're in this belief because that's what we did. Okay. Trouble with hiring highly motivated people. I'll keep that in mind in the future. I've tried to kill that dude, but he escapes too quickly. You can't kill him. So I'm not even gonna bother. But okay. That's essentially it for the catacombs. Now we're going to leave.
Life continues to be quite the challenge. You have been accused of murdering the Iron Throne.
So, you may be wondering what that was all about.
Nothing to it.
Yesterday we had a power outage. A storm started to come through. I actually heard it about 40 seconds before the power snapped off, and I was trying to shut the game down, so I could shut my computer down really quickly. I didn't quite make it. So, the end of that kind of got cut off. I did get the recording shut down in time, as I'm sure you can see. So, the recording was safe.
Life continues to be quite the challenge. You have been accused of murdering the Iron Throne leaders, and the Flaming Fist will undoubtedly hound your every step because of it. Despite all of this, you must return to the city of Baldur's Gate, the very lair of your accusers. You must find and expose the one who is responsible for your predicament. You must find Saravak.
We had, conveniently just left, the Catacombs. And that's a party-required transition, so we had a very nice autosave. Right here. That was quite fortunate. So, I'm going to create a save point here, save game here, and next time we will be probably going here. And then after that, I think we'll probably head to Durlag's Tower and do at least part of the basement. This area here is not going to take long at all. Durlag's Tower is going to take, like, a long time. So I don't know if I'll be able to fit the entire basement into one session. I may actually rethink that. Maybe we'll just go straight to Durlag's Tower and we'll skip this for now. This area, there's nothing much to it. There's some of these red wizards and a bunch of spiders. I'm only going to do it for the sake of completion. But the basement of Durlag's Tower, I'm going to have to do at least part of it because of how far we are from our next level. We're a lot closer now than we were, 2 sessions ago, but this is still a long way. So, actually, yeah, I think maybe we'll just go to Durlag's Tower. But at any rate, we're finished with this. Join me then. Later.